Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M40 M43. It's the Tier 8 American SPG and we're located on the north spawn of Prokhorovka. And the name of the commander is Under 6. Now I can see one mark of excellence on the barrel. It's an 8-inch howitzer, so that means it's the M43 and it's mounted on the elongated M4 chassis and battle is about to start.
Time to roll out.
Okay, they're off. Now, as many of you might know, the M43 and the M40 only have one tank in Europe during World War II. They were produced as a replacement for the M12 because there wasn't enough 155mm howitzers. But they only had time to send one M43 and one M40 over to Europe before the war ended, and they did see service. The rest of them were produced after the war and used by the American forces in Korea. Okay, it's moving over onto the west side of the map, being careful to avoid knocking down anything down which will give away his position. Okay, that's good. He's got a good firing position here, and he's now looking for the enemy. A couple of the enemy have been seen already. We've got an Emil up at the centre line and a T10. A Centurion's on the west side, and a whole bunch of tanks headed up to the hill. No, there's no sign of that Emil or the T10. I think they've retreated back because there are some of our tanks just on the other side of the ridgeline, and they know that. Ah, there's the Emil. It's a Tier 8 Swedish auto-loading heavy.
Critical hit.
Oh, we got a good hit. 306. It's not bad. He's moved position. Avoid counter battery. Just need to move a little just to avoid any return fire. Okay, he's picked his next target. It's a Wizzy 120 1FT. Oh, no, he's decided to go for the Defender instead. The premium Soviet heavy tank. He's almost loaded. Got a 38.8 second reload. Not using premium consumables. He fires straight away. And there's no result from that. So, this is an encounter battle. And there is somebody in the cap already. But he has been reset, so I think he might have been splashed because he's not showing any damage. Oh, he is showing damage now. So the enemy have fired in on him, and it may be the Arty that did that. We've got an E100 up on top of the hill. Well, that may be what fired on the Malshin then. Right, we're looking at the E100. We're loaded. Dialing in. Got to work out where he's going to go. Round out. And yes!
That was close.
It was a splash, but it was 170 hit points. It's working. It's worth it. He's into reload. Two-thirds of the... well, a third of the way through. Half the way through. Right, we've got an M46 pattern up on top of the hill. He's marked the ground near the pattern, lets his teammates know where he's looking. It sometimes helps just to put your T key, your rescue over the target tank, and then press the T key, because then down arrows appear on the tank, lets the team know what you're aiming for, and that's going to hit 2, I think.
Critical hit.
Well, he actually did a critical hit to the 257, but he did damage the E100, so I think it splashed the E100 more than the 257. It may have tracked the 257. Now we can't see them up on top of the hill. Oh, now we can. Okay, we're halfway through loading. Go for the E100 again. And someone from the enemy team is camping. Almost ready to shoot. Going for the E100. And rounds out. That should work. Oh, it didn't. That's annoying. It looks like both tanks moved away from the aim point shortly after he fired, and they avoided the shot. And we've got somebody capping at the moment, but this is an encounter battle, so it takes much longer to cap out, so we don't need to be worried just yet. But we can see who it is. It's the Centurion. There's only one in the cap, so it's only him. And I get the feeling that Ander 6 is going to go for the reset. So he's looking at that Centurion, and rounds out. Looks good. Oh, it's not. He hasn't got anything. And the cap is still proceeding, so it looks to me like the Centurion managed to turn around the corner and avoid the shot. There he is. After that, the shot went long. Okay, he's almost loaded. 10 seconds. And the Centurion's been killed. He was taken out by the Object 261. 261's up in grid square A9. He's at the other side of the map, so he can deal with the capping tanks much easier than we can. We're firing over a much longer distance. Going for the E100. Oh, he got him! He killed him! 86 hit points. He wiped him out. So that's his first kill. Right, we're getting an indication that there's an enemy in grid square K2. Now that could be an Arty. Normally when a tank indicates there's some target down there, it's because they were hit by an Arty from that direction. They think he's at the back of the grid. So we're looking for Tracer. And I think if we hit the V key, we can have a look. Because Tracer stands out more pronounced with all the visual cues switched off. There doesn't appear to be anything here. I haven't seen a Tracer yet. Nope. Well, I guess whoever signalled that signals us to look at that area obviously got it wrong, and the enemy's not down there. Doesn't appear to be any enemy Arty down there. There is one enemy Arty still in the game, a Conqueror gun carriage. And we've got a T110E4. And we're dialing in on him. And we marked him as our target. Down arrows are above him. Rounds out. And no, unfortunately, we didn't get any damage. We're ahead by 3 tanks at the moment, but somebody is capping. Now, a couple of our tanks are going, or rather the ISU-152 is moving towards the cap area to try and find out who it is. It might be the Object 257. Yes, it is. Now, I think we can reset this one. Lining up the shot, rounds out, and yes! And it was a direct hit, a 338 hit point hit. And he's looking down the west side again, T110E4. As long as the ISU-152 stays in the cap on one side, he blocks any damage or any capture by the enemy. But I suspect that the 257's actually moved out of the cap. Yes, because we are now capping on the other side. Still trying to get that T110E4. The LC M90 is very, very close, but he hasn't spotted him yet. There he is. And we fired around him where we thought he was going to go. Unfortunately, he stopped and our shell went long, so we didn't get any damage off that one. There are only 4 enemies remaining now. We've got 3 Wizzy 1201 FTs and the Conqueror gun carriage. One of the Wizzy 120s is up on the hill. The other one was seen near the centre line, but he probably pulled back by now. And the Conqueror, well, he's probably near the railway line as well. I think that's almost a certainty, because they've now moved through the area we were looking at earlier in K2, and there's nobody there. So whoever actually sent us that tip is wrong. There wasn't an enemy there. Oh, well, there's the Conqueror gun carriage. He's been spotted. We're loaded. Rounds out. And... oh, it's a big hit! 502 hit points, and he's wiped out immediately afterwards, which means we'll pick up the stun assist. Now, it's just that Wizzy 120 that's near the ridgeline. We haven't seen him. He's probably in the trees. And there's one. It's right at the back. He's actually on the railway line. Well, it's pretty obvious. You can't miss somebody who's sitting there on top of the railway line. It's not very stealthy. It does make it easier to shoot, but it's also a good way to die quickly. We've lined up a shot where we think he's going to go. And unfortunately, we didn't get any hit points off that one. Okay, we're now looking at one of the Wizzies, and he's just been taken down. He was killed by the Scorpion G. And that means there are now only 2 enemies remaining. Both of them Wizzy 120 1FTs. One on the hill, one on the other side of the railway line. I wouldn't be surprised if the one on the hill tries to get a reset. I think it's more than likely that's what he'll try to do. Yes, there's one of them. I think that's the one that was near the railway line. There's the other one. Oh, rounds are raining in on him. And we did get some damage on him. But he's decided to go down the cliff. And he was killed before he got to the bottom. Just the wreck landed up in the water. And that's the end of the game. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And it's an Ace Tanker and a 6 in the M40 M43. He also picked up a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 11. And a Confederate medal for getting more damage, hitting more enemies than anyone else. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by others. Let's have a look at team score. He didn't get the highest amount of damage. That went to the Scorpion. He managed 4,089 hit points. Then actually came the Team 110E4 on the enemy team. He managed 3,641. And lastly, we had the Prototypo, which actually 2,953 hit points. Anders came 4th on damage. He managed 2,723 hit points of damage overall. When it came to kills, it was the Prototypo who managed to get the most, along with the 2 of the Wizzy 120 1GFTs. They managed 3 kills apiece as well. And we can see that further down the table, Anders 6 managed to get only 1 kill, which put him in a joint 3rd position on his own team. When it came to base XP, it was Anders 6 who was right at the top of the table with 1,237 base XP. And then came the ELC Evan 90 with 1,144, and then the Scorpion with 1,026. So let's have a look at the detail report. Well, he fired 13 rounds during that battle. He got 6 direct hits, 6 penetration, and 9 splash. Damage of 2,723 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. He hit 8 of the enemy, but he only got 1 kill. But he did get 2,730 base, 2,730 hit points of stun assistance of 14 stuns, and that's why his XP was so high. If you add that to the stun assistance, and of course count half of that is XP that you earn for allowing your teammates to stun them and kill them, allowing your teammates to kill them, plug them full of holes. And he actually got 25 defense points as well when he fired at the enemy while they were capping. On a premium count, he earned 54,761 credits, and after ammunition resupply, and the 8-inch shells are expensive, he actually ended up with only 30,451 credits, but that's still a very large amount, and he earned 1,856 XP. There was no multipliers, so I'm afraid that's all the experience points he took away. But it was a good round. I got an Ace Tanker out of it and a Confederate, which means that he was really showing his team that he could help them. And as you see, not only in the amount of damage that he'd do, but also the base XP, he showed them that he was playing a big part in that battle. So if you enjoyed that replay, replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.